Some families are born, some are made, and some involve a church parking lot, a black bag, and two cats who refuse to cuddle but can't live without each other. This is the story of Goose and Momo, two cats who went from abandoned and alone to living their best lives, and it's guaranteed to restore your faith in happy endings. Goose's story began in the most unexpected place, a church parking lot. When Hope discovered him there, she immediately started searching for his owner, trying every method she could think of to reunite him with his family. But nobody came forward. Here's the interesting thing about Goose, though. He wasn't skittish or scared like you'd expect a stray cat to be. This little guy hopped right into Hope's car without hesitation, as if he had been waiting for her all along. He was clean, well-groomed, almost like a house cat who simply decided he was ready for a new adventure. Hope welcomed him into her home, and Goose settled in like he'd always belonged there. He quickly became known for his incredible appetite, which is why he's constantly sporting his signature bib.
Your butt is vibrating.
He's also a champion purrer with a motor that could rival a small engine. And he has this adorable habit of rubbing against Hope's legs at the most inconvenient times. He's a cuddly, sweet soul who goes by many names: Goostifer, Goosebump, Goosey Boosey, Goose Caboose, and Bumpus, just to name a few. Then came Christmas, and Goose was about to get the gift he never knew he needed: a little brother. Momo's arrival into this world, or at least into Hope's world, was far more traumatic than Goose's. Someone stuffed this tiny kitten into a black bag and threw him out of a car window near a construction site. Construction workers spotted the bag and assumed it was garbage until it started moving. That's when they realized something alive was inside. The construction site belonged to the father of Hope's best friend, Victoria. Knowing Hope's big heart for animals, Victoria reached out to her immediately. Hope agreed to take the kitten in without even seeing what he looked like first. That evening, when she finally brought him home and opened the carrier, they had what Hope describes as a moment. They locked eyes, and she just knew. This was her kitty. Against all odds, little Momo had no injuries from his ordeal. He was just tiny and, as it turned out, packed with more energy than seemed physically possible for such a small creature. Hope had planned to keep him separated from Goose initially, wanting to introduce them slowly and properly. But Momo had other ideas. This kitten was zooming around with such intensity that slow introductions went out of the window pretty quickly. Here's where Momo's story takes an ironic twist. Remember how he was thrown away in a bag? Well, this cat absolutely loves bags. He's completely obsessed with them. Any bag that enters the house becomes Momo's new favorite toy. Paper bags, plastic bags, shopping bags, it doesn't matter. Hope and Dan just toss them on the floor and Momo will entertain himself for hours. But here's the thing about Momo and bags. Hope has to monitor his time with them. The bags became a bad influence, transforming Momo into someone she doesn't recognize. His addiction has led him astray more than once, and usually, it's Goose who ends up paying the price for his brother's bag-induced chaos. Now, Momo might look like he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's got this goofy expression that makes him seem, well, a little simple. But don't let that face fool you. This cat is absolutely brilliant. He can open doors and perform tricks that Hope didn't even know cats were capable of doing. He's way smarter than his derpy appearance would suggest. Momo also has very specific requirements for happiness. He's not a judgmental cat. He'll always think you're absolutely perfect, but there's one non-negotiable condition. He must receive his chicken dinner exactly at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Not 7:59, not 8:01. 8 o'clock sharp, or else you'll face the wrath of a very disappointed Flame Point Siamese cat. He's also discovered the joy of sink water. And if you're thinking about introducing your cat to this luxury, Hope warns that you'll need to add uninterrupted sink time to your daily schedule. As a kitten, Momo is even more wild than he is now. But his love for playing hasn't diminished one bit. In fact, Momo doesn't know his own limits. He'll play so intensely that he actually pants like a dog, using it as a cooling mechanism during particularly vigorous play sessions. After a few minutes of rest, he's back to normal, but it's quite the sight to see. Momo absolutely melts when Hope speaks to him in a high-pitched baby voice. That's his love language right there.
You want it? Good boy!
But he finds it a little bit strange when Dan talks to him that way. It's Mama's voice, and it's not appropriate for Dad to use it.
Yes, Mama! Hi, cute boy! That's a cute baby!
As for the dynamic between Goose and Momo, it's pure sibling energy. They'll be fighting over a sunny spot one minute, and the next, they're napping near each other. Not cuddling, mind you. That would be too much commitment for these two. But they need to be in each other's general vicinity. They always want to know where the other one is. Momo has a bit of a copycat streak, or perhaps it's more accurate to say he has serious FOMO when it comes to Goose. Wherever Goose settles down, Momo suddenly decides that's exactly where he needs to be. If Goose is lounging in a particular spot, Momo will march over and essentially evict his older brother, claiming the territory for himself. It's the classic little brother move. From a church parking lot and a construction site to a loving home where they're known by ridiculous nicknames, Goose and Momo have found their forever family. They've gone from unwanted to absolutely adored, from alone to inseparable brothers who drive each other crazy in the best possible way. These two rescue cats are living proof that second chances are real, and that sometimes the family we end up with is exactly the family we were meant to have all along.